much of the history of the headshot, it was about studio light, and then there was a big sort of trend in the 80s and 90s towards using natural light because people perceived that studio light was quite harsh and quite contrasty. And I think the tail end of that is still hovering around in terms of actors' perceptions now. But the reality as a working photographer these days is that you're fluidly mixing natural and studio strobe lighting, so flash lighting and continuous lighting to get the shot that you want.
It's very difficult for the untrained eye to notice whether a shot is actually shot in daylight. Unless you've got some trees in the background and a brick wall, it's actually difficult to understand whether the picture has actually been taken in the studio, replicating some sort of daylight, or whether it's actually shot outside with other lights as well.
You will never do a job where you're not lit. So let us light you. That's my take, and it's sort of that simple, plus the fact that a huge amount of outdoor shots nowadays aren't outdoors at all, they're indoors, they're studio lit, made to look like they're outside.
You know, it's about having interesting casting shots that catch the eye, rather than a traditional style of headshot that everyone adheres to.
If you look at portfolios, you can see there's so many different styles working, and a lot of those styles are a mixture of studio and daylight, or just daylight, but with other lights involved as well.
Don't worry too much about it. Don't pick your photographer because they're a natural light shooter. Look in their portfolio and see if you can spot the difference.
Perhaps a factor for an actor to consider in terms of the photographer that they choose, but really it's about the photographer's skill.